Mr. Jagwani, Dr. Hontker, we began the forum with your welcome remarks. And now you are closing the forum. So may I ask you, in addition to your official closing, to add about your impressions that you had at the beginning of the forum and what do you feel about the event now? Thank you. The floor is yours, please.
Baba was insisting I go first, so I said, okay, let me do that. So thank you. So actually, I often, Katya, I start with a zero slate. I said I don't know what I will expect, but let's see what I would expect. And what I found was lots of insights for me coming into a forum like this and hearing people, because that's where I learn from all of you in this space. I've spent many years in the agri space and some in nutrition, but it's a different context, different setting, different sort of approaches. So lots of takeaways for me. Um, I think the panels here, of course, I should say, um, had different insights, and I was particularly the round table. I want to talk a little bit about that, and clearly the lack of awareness is one thing that came out strongly. What can we do about this lack of awareness? How do we communicate more about this lack of this macronutrient deficiency? Was a clear case of the challenge that we had. We talked about the business case. In some cases, the business case works. When you can charge a premium, certain segments are willing to pay. You can charge a premium, and there can be a business case. But for the regular day-to-day commodities, rice, sugar, oil, they may not be that business case. And so how do you actually go about doing that? Investments, there is investment needs. There's some of the challenges that came out was testing facilities not available in many situations. How do we overcome these challenges? Regulatory frameworks are needed to bring clarity. Um, we've also need for different kinds of partnerships, because we know the ultimate result is a fantastic one for individuals, for collectives, and economic terms. It's a great result, but how do you actually go from here to realizing that goal when it's in a should I say, in the middle space? It's a public and private domain. The private sector is the producer of the food pretty much everywhere globally. It's not the public sector that produces it. The public sector can send the right signals in making sure that food is produced such that we can maximize the good that comes out of it. So it's an important public-private space for us to navigate. So there was a talk about about the industry coming together in some instances, coalition of players, right? So lots of insights for me, in terms of the space. I do want to say that there is, in summary, kind of cost-effective approaches from food fortification is very clear. We've seen that time and again. Integrating nutrition and food fortification is important for sustainable food system, and this came out earlier, and some of you know is my favorite subject is the challenge we've had with food now in the last several decades is the nutrition value of those foods has gone down. I'm in the middle of reading a book called What Your Food Ate, and it's talking about when you buy a carrot now, it doesn't have the same level of beta carotene as a carrot had 20 years ago. So there is something changing in our food that needs to be supplemented with some of these additives, fortification. So I want to just wrap up and have Rudaba come up. But before I do that, there are lots of thank yous on behalf of IFC. Thank the donors, the government of Japan, and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, without whom this would not be possible. The World Bank team and the international organizations, and several of you, private companies here. Thank you to the World Food Program Bangladesh, UNICEF Dhaka, World Health Organization, Bangladesh Food Safety Authority, Prawn, Abdul Monem, ACI Agribusiness, Biocrop Science, Harvest Plus, Bangladesh Agriculture Research Institute, DSM, Hexagon Nutrition, PATH, Technoserve, Millers for Nutrition, Renaissance Group, Chaldal, and of course, all of you who made this forum a success. And thank you to the team that have put this together and the Bangladesh country office of IFC. Thank you again.